Hello students, welcome back. In the last class we have learned about the memory. In this class or in this video lecture we are going to see into sensors and actuators. What's a sensor? A sensor is an electronic instrument that is able to measure the physical quantity and generate a considerable output. These output of the sensors are usually in the form of electrical signals. Then what is an actuator? An actuator is a device that alters the physical quantity as it can cause a mechanical component to move after getting some input from the sensor. In other words, it receives a control input, generally in the form of electrical signal, and generates a change in the physical system through producing force, heat or motion, etc. You can see the diagram what actuator and sensor does. So sensors collects the input, it sends to the amplifier processes and sends it to the actuator, and then it carries out a mechanical or a electronic output. Now let's go to the IO systems. We are going to study about the IO systems one by one. First we will study about LED, which we know as light emitting diode. A light emitting diode is a two lead semiconductor light source. It is a PN junction diode that emits light when activated. When a suitable voltage is applied to the leads, electrons are able to recombine with electron holes within the device, releasing energy in the form of photons. The diagram shown is summarizes what happens. So what happens is n-type silicon has an extra electrons. We represent n-type by red and p-type by blue. P-type silicon has extra holes. So n-type has extra electrons, p-type has extra holes. Battery connected across the p-n junction makes the diode forward biased, pushing electrons from the n-type to the p-type and pushing holes in the opposite direction. So we can take a example of parking slots. So what we can say is road can be considered, the whole road can be considered as an n-type, and p-type is a parking area. So when the car the cars can be termed as electrons. So car from road moves to the parking slot. Parking slot has its area, so it has the cars are moving from road to parking slot, so they move from n type to p type. So what happens next is electrons and holes cross the junction and combine. Photons are given off as the electrons and holes recombine. When these are combining, the output which we get is nothing but a light. So let's study about the 7 segment display now. The 7 segment display, also written as 7 segment display in numerical, consists of a 7 LEDs, hence arranged in a rectangular fashion as shown. Each of the 7 LEDs is called a segment because when illuminated, the segment forms a part of a numerical light to be displayed. An additional 8th LED is sometimes used with the same package, thus allowing the indications of a decimal point when two or more 7 segment displays are connected together to display number greater than 10. Each one of the 7 LEDs in the display is given a positional segment with one of its connections pins being brought straight out of the rectangular plastic package. These individually LED pins are labeled from A to G, representing each individual LED. The other LED pins are connected together and wired to form a common pin. So by forward biasing the appropriate pins of the LED segments in a particular order, some segments will be light and others will be dark, allowing the desired character pattern of the number to be generated on display. This then allows us to display each of the 10 decimal digits through 0 to 9 on same 7 segment display. So 7 segment displays are of two types, common cathode and common anode. The internal structure of both types is nearly the same. The difference is the polarity of the LEDs and common terminal. In the common cathode display, all cathode connections of the LED segments are connected together to logic 0 or ground. The individual segments are then illuminated by applying high logic 1 signal to the individual anode terminal of A to G. Now after studying about the 7 segment display, now let's go to the optocoupler or opto isolator. An opto isolator or optocoupler is a device that transfers electrical signals between true electrically isolated circuits through light energy. Opto-isolators prevent the high voltage in one part of the circuit from affecting or destroying the other part of the system. You can see the diagram to understand how exactly the optocoupler works. Optocouplers or of the opto-isolators are used in lamp ballasts, light dimmers, valve or motor controllers, microcontrollers for interfacing with high voltage circuits. Now let us go to the stepper motor. Stepper motors are DC motors that move in discrete steps. They have multiple coils that are organized in groups called phases. By energizing each phase in sequence, the motor will rotate one step at a time. With computer controlled stepping, you can achieve very precise positioning or speed control. For this reason, stepper motors are the of the choice of many precision motion control appliances. Based on the coil winding arrangements, a two-phase stepper motor is classified into two types. They are unipolar and bipolar. Steppers motors are nothing but, if you have seen a robotic arm and everything, steppers motor are used to control the arm movement. So now let us see how exactly it works. As in the case of any other motors, a stepper motor has a rotating part which is aptly called as rotor and a static part called as stator. The stator and the rotor have magnetic poles, and by energizing the stator poles, the rotor moves in order to align with the stator. A rotor is a central gear shaped piece of iron. Stator is a set of toothed electromagnet arranged around the central gear. If you see the diagram, stator are nothing but diagram which has the windings. You can see the windings over there, and there is a motor, and there is a permanent magnet in between the rotor which moves. Unipolar stepper motor. The term unipolar and bipolar refers to the configuration of the coil winding on each stator within a stepper motor and the type of magnetic field it produces. A unipolar stepper motor contains two windings per phase. The direction of the rotation of a stepper motor is controlled by changing the direction of the current flow. Current in one direction flows through one coil and in opposite direction flows through the other coil. It is easy to shape the direction of the rotation by just switching the terminals to which the coils are connected. In unipolar, the coils are representing A, B, C and D. Coils A and C carry the current in opposite direction for phase 1. Only one of them will be carrying the current at a time. Similarly, B and D carry current in opposite direction for phase 2. Only one of them will be carrying current at a time. Bipolar stepper motor. Bipolar stepper motor contains single winding per phase. For reversing the motor rotation in the current flow through the winding is reversed dynamically. It requires complex circuits for current flow reversal. The stepping of stepper motor can be implemented in different ways by changing the sequence of activation of the stator windings. The different stepping modes supported by stepper motors are full step, wave step and half step. In the full step mode, both the phases are energized simultaneously. Wave step, in the wave step mode, only one phase is energized at a time and each coil of the phase is energized alternatively. Half step, it uses the combination of waves and full step. It has the highest torque and stability. Now let's stop here. We will study about relay in next class. Thank you.